Okay, recording. Okay, so hi everyone, welcome to my presentation. I'm presenting to you my app Misa, which is app for a better mood. In this presentation, I will be presenting my work until now. I will be stopping at paper prototype and introducing my future work. So let's start with why Misa? Because during those difficult times that we currently live in, more people are feeling alone and not as happy as before, which can result in anxiety and depression. So Misa aims to help trigger bad moods and provide ways to feel better by suggesting different practices from which the user can choose from. I followed the Stanford design thinking, which for me was a lot of going back and forth, because every time I was making a decision, I was checking if this is what actually the user needed, and I'm currently at prototyping. My secondary research aims to support the fact that people are now feeling worse than before, and they need help to deal with the experiences they had during the pandemic. I have researched on activities which help people feel better, such as watching movies, learning new skills, and exercise. And in order to confirm that this is actually how my users feel, I've carried out a diary study with 10 participants for 8 days, each and every day, talking about something new and discussing a new topic. So for example, on day 7, I asked them to rate different activities such as candles and flowers and deep breathing. We also talked about journaling and problems with journaling, chatbot and problems and opportunities for chatbots. And there are some activities including breathing, deep breathing, yoga, and meditation that were also discussed. Then I wanted to confirm all this. I carried out a online survey with 20 participants, discovering more activities such as hobbies, sports, and so on. And I found that every person does different things in order to improve their moods. And when it comes to apps, people need different features. So what works for someone doesn't necessarily work for someone else. So I decided to give my user full control over the features of the app. And I will be talking about this in my paper prototype. So let me first introduce who is my persona. My primary persona is someone who is 23 years or older, is experienced in journaling. So is someone who likes visual boards, for example, and they realize that they have problems. They are feeling down now that they're more alone, and they want to start a journey with an app which will help them feel better. And when it comes to apps, there are so many on the market. And I have, in order to understand what works best, I have downloaded 5 of those apps and I've tried them myself, and I've discovered some really good features. So Remente is a really nice app which has those kind of sweet animations, which makes it really interactive. So the person is interacting with the character in order to set their mood, which I really liked. Then comes Wisa. For me, it didn't really work, although it's really nice to chat with a therapist. If you don't want to chat with a therapist, to pay in order to chat with a therapist, you can chat with a chatbot. My phone, however, is bilingual. So every time that I was voice recording, it was translating in the 2 languages, and it ends up really confusing. Unfortunately, the chat does not allow typing. It is only voice-based. Almost same thing happened with Inner Hour. Unfortunately, again, I was not able to type in the chat. I was only able to choose from answers that were provided for me, which kind of was really frustrating. How it didn't feel like chatting. However, the app really suggested some good and interesting activities for bettering my mood. Reflectly maybe is one of my favorite, because it was really sweet. I love the character. It was interesting to type in order to do my diary entry, but after I was done with the diary, there was nothing really else to do. And finally, Sayana, it is good. I don't like that it's available for only for Apple users, not for Android. But I like the feature that the user is actually going on a journey to better their mood, and it also has a background music, which was really something that I really appreciated. So when it comes to my my prototype, I've already loaded XD because my internet is a little slow. So I will walk through the XD file. So this is where the user will create the character. It will be is a spirit. So this is their spirit character. So they design their spirit. They can choose the shape. They can choose the eyes. So this is something little, but I think it's nice engagement. Then they give it a name in order to personalize it, because this will become their chatbot. And they confirm and go. They type their name. They are introduced to the chat. And here is where I'm giving full control to the user to decide what works for them and what doesn't work for them. For example, they can choose from activities, social, goals, and lists. All those features can be turned on and off depending on what the user wants. So if the person doesn't like journaling, they will not include journaling, so they will not have this feature. If they don't like planning and using planner apps, they will not turn on this feature, so they will not have this feature. If, for example, the person wants to have different activities suggested to them in order to improve their mood, they can click, read what actually this means, and add it. But if they don't add it. They can just refuse it, reject it. So the user chooses what to add, and they go on. So this is the home page. They will have their spirit. So in order to set their mood, they can just swipe and put their character in the mood that they're feeling right now, which will have a color and it will have a face expression. However, some people take colors, they perceive colors in a different way, so they can manually customize their mood by customizing the color and the face and the emotion in order to express the best way how they feel. So this will be in order to track their moods during the day or during the week, as many times as they change the mood of the character. They can put their character to bed because we want to monitor their sleeping patterns. So once they start putting their character in to sleep, we will start monitoring their sleeping patterns and provide statistics. So next, they can chat. So those are icons. So they can chat with their character, and everything that they write, if they choose to save it, will become a diary entry. Next, it is affirmations. So if the person doesn't like affirmations, this button will not be included. So they are not obligated to choose an affirmation, and if they don't want to turn it on, it will not exist as a feature. But if they like affirmations and they turn it on, and if they include it as a feature, they will be able to choose affirmations. Same for quotes. If they don't like quotes, sorry. So if they don't like quotes, they will not include this. They will not include this feature. So really quickly, this is how they put the spirit to bed, and this is how it looks like. So it calculates how much time it has slept, and once they wake up, they will write something, how they felt, how they slept, and what mood they woke up in. So next, talking about affirmations. People can choose different types of affirmations, or just generally choose one. Once they choose their affirmation, it will be displayed on top. So every time they open their app, they will see the affirmation, and this is how affirmations work. The more you repeat it to yourself, the bigger the chances of it becoming true. About quotes. So they will have this page. If they don't turn it on, it will not exist as a feature, right? So they will swipe up and down, just like TikTok, and they will see quotes which they can save and then return to, right? When it comes to other features that are included, if the person likes journaling and if the person decides to include journal feature, it will be displayed on the home page. And for example, they can swipe and see other journal entries from the days before. They can select the month and then they will be displayed in a different way, for example, for the previous month or however, moving a little bit faster. So this is like how the journal will look like, and it will have different features, so they can have different fonts, and they can give it style to the text. This will be swipeable, and they can choose what the color of the paper will be. If it will be lines, dots, blank page, they can include doodling and images in their journal. Moving on. This is the planner. So they can include a planner, but if they don't want to use it, this will be missing. It will not be here. And for example, they include vision boarding. So this is a blank board. They can include pictures. They can type. They can include different shapes. This will be swipeable. Those are icons for color, for stroke style, for width of the stroke, and then this is the home page. What they include will be here. If they don't include it, it will not be present. So moving on to the next general feature, which will be also choosable. So those are activities. There are different types of activities. They can add their own activity, or they also can save existing activities to their favorite activities to return to. So during my diary studies, I've found out that there are different activities people like doing when they feel bad. So I have discovered something like baking, yoga, meditation, and so on. I am putting all those activities in those 3 different folders, but in order to decide what goes where, I'm planning for the future to test and do a workshop and ask people to put different features, different activities in different folders. For now, in spiritual, you can see that I've put a light a candle. People will be able to swipe and see different activities, meditation, deep breathing. So they can choose this activity, but first, before proceeding to the activity, they will state how they feel, right? They can write a note and so on. So we can see how their mood improves after the activity. So they perform the activity, especially this one. I really love background noises. They really help me, background sounds and slow music. So I'm planning to introduce sounds here as well to some of the activities. They can save this activity if they like it or not, and then they can move on to the next activity, for example, yoga and physical reading. So yes, this will be refined later on. I am planning to introduce a social feature such as social media, where people will become part of groups and they will discover different hobbies, but this is something I will be working on later. Also positive news. And finally, because when I did my diary studies, I realized that people, when they feel bad, they turn to music and watching movies, and they really like being suggested different songs to listen to. I decided I will create a music and movies list. So in this page, they will see music to listen to when you feel, and they will have different feelings. So they can choose, and the list with the music will change depending on the feeling, on the mood. They can see the list, and they can see if people are commenting, how many people like it, how many people have seen it, so they can also like it. And also when they like it, it goes here in their history of liked. They will have history of viewed, and if a song or a movie they really like and want to suggest to other people is missing, they can add it to to the list. And that's it. That's my prototype. Thank you. I will go and continue with my future work. So I have to do testing of paper prototypes so I can move on to mid-fi and hi-fi, and then test the hi-fi, change anything that needs to be changed after testing the hi-fi, and eventually have a good working app at the end. Those are my references, and thank you so much for the attention. Maybe it took a little bit longer, but I really appreciate you staying with me and watching. Thank you.